Hello, this is your host, Sheraz Ahmed, ready to kick off another bite-sized episode of the Crypto Valley Association podcast. Now let's discover together the growing trends of this fast-moving space and try to shed some light on the mysteries it contains. Today, we are joined by Delphine Forma, CEO of TAAL, along with many other amazing positions in the space, ranging from being one of the board members of the Crypto Valley Association and of the Open VASP Association. So let's dive straight in. Delphine, hello. How are you today?
Hi, Sheraz. I'm good. It's snowing. I'm very excited today.
Wonderful. Let's get straight into things. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your first blockchain-related experience. How do you get into the space?
Yes, so basically, I've been working in compliance and banking for a while in London for a big institution, and I was working in HSBC, and I was responsible for trade finance compliance at the European level. And as you may know, one of the best applications of blockchain, I think, is for everything dealing with trade finance and supply chain, especially in banking, because it can reduce costs and it can make the system much more efficient. Because I know, everything dealing with trade finance is very paper-based, right? So using the blockchain would be a very good application combined with IoT. I think it would be really great. So I was working in this space in my normal banking job, and I was getting bored because when you work for a big bank, you're just a number. Everything is slow moving. It's just boring, right? Except the business trips, the other thing is a little bit boring, right? So I was thinking, okay, what could I do? And I was like, okay, maybe I should start looking at blockchain. I don't want to become one of the old compliance officer who has no clue about what is happening in the world. I was like, I think it's a good opportunity for me to not miss a train, be part of it right at the beginning, especially in the field of crypto compliance. Mm-hmm. So I decided to check the market, and in London, there was a few startups at the time, but I've kind of wanted to have a full new experience. So I started checking Switzerland. I started to send application to a lot of different companies here in Switzerland in the space. And BK replied to me quite quickly because a crypto exchange. I had 5 interviews with them. I also had another offer from traditional banking, and I was like, I'm just going to quit everything, go to Switzerland, take a new job, new industry, big risk, small startup, but I'm sure this can go right? And this is how I ended up working in crypto. I started as chief compliance officer for Switzerland. And then after a few weeks, I became global head of compliance for the exchange. And actually, I stayed there 3 years, and I learned a lot during those 3 years. The learning curve is huge because I switched it from a pure trade finance compliance roles to a general compliance in crypto, where at the time, in the beginning of 2018, there was no rules, there was nothing, there was some guidance from FINMA, but it was kind of very open field. And I was able, to create all the compliance framework in UK. And I was very much involved in the listing process. So when I joined in January 2018, UK was trying to list as much token as possible. So I had to check all those projects. I don't know, I think in the year I checked more than 100 different projects. And I learned a lot in this process because when you have to read all this white paper, you obviously learn, how it works and different things. And that was really exciting. I really enjoyed my time with DK. And especially, here in Zug, I joined the Crypto Valley Association sometime in 2018. At the time, there was so many events, you had events almost every day. You could learn so much. The space was super dynamic. It was a really good place to be, a good way to start a career, I think, in this space.
Wonderful. And so why did you specifically choose Switzerland? Was it the snow that brought you here, or were there other elements?
Okay, to be perfectly honest, I was kind of looking for, paying less taxes too. That was also part of my decision. What made my decision is obviously I love snowboarding. I'm skiing and snowboarding since I'm 2. And after 3 years in the UK, I was very frustrated because in the UK, if you want to go snowboarding, you need to take an airplane with all your stuff. It's just like a no-go, I don't want to do that. So Switzerland, for snowboarding, and if you like, I also really like wake surfing. So in Switzerland, you can do that in every lake. And the other part is like, Switzerland is just nice and quiet. After I lived 3 years in Tokyo before, 3 years in London. So after 6 years, living in huge city, I come from the countryside in France, very, very small city with 3,000 people there. So I was kind of, looking to be somewhere nice and quiet and enjoy, the nature. And, if you want to go crazy, just take an airplane, 1 hour, you're in London and you can do shopping and parties, right? So
great. And I'm sure it helped that Switzerland was so crypto friendly and pioneering in this space back in 2017.
Yeah, exactly. And also my parents, they live in Strasbourg, so that was also part of my decision. It's very close to here, and like in 3 hours by train you can get there. So that was also important.
Well, great. It sounds like all the stars were aligned.
Exactly.
And so tell us, what are you up to now? I saw that you're Chief Compliance Officer at TAAL. Would you be able to share with our audience what role TAAL plays within the blockchain space?
Yes, I joined TAAL in October last year as Chief Compliance Officer. And TAAL is a really cool company, and I think it has great potential. So they started as a crypto mining business in Canada. We are actually listed on the stock exchange in Canada. And what we are also doing transaction processing, which is a new part of our business. So we're keeping the crypto mining, but we also want to diversify. And this is why we're going to have transaction processing will be our main product. It's actually already live. And so that's main part. And we will also probably open our pool at one point. So do pool management for the client. And we also have a technology called STAS. And STAS is a technology that allows development on top of the BSV blockchain. So very new services, we really plan to be like really big by the end of this year. It's really cool also because, there's different line of business. And as a little bit like I was doing in Nike, it's like I really had to set up the full compliance framework from scratch. And I love doing that. It's super exciting. You have to set up everything, work with the business. It's super challenging. I report to the CEO, so we can have a lot of conversation. And I love doing that. It's like, for now, I'm still a one-woman show, but I love that because you can touch everything, and it's still a small company. We are not too big yet. So, your role is very diverse. Obviously, if I'm Chief Compliance Officer, I will also deal with legal rules. And it's amazing. I love it. I'm super happy.
That's great to hear. And so how do you manage the fact that they're based in Canada and you're here in Switzerland?
So we have a company in Switzerland. We opened the company in Switzerland this summer. So the Swiss company is called TAAL DIT GmbH. So we have a lot of people actually here in Switzerland. It has been growing very fast. So I may have lost count about the number of people. We are at least 10 people here in Switzerland. So we have people in Vancouver and Toronto in Canada. We also have an office here in Switzerland in Grafenweg, so very central. And we also have people in Japan. So it's like a 360, my day. Sometimes I start at 6:30 in the morning while we chit chat with people in Japan. I've called with Japan. Then during the day, Switzerland is kicking off. And then maybe I have a little break at lunchtime. And then around 3:00 in the afternoon is Canada coming. So it's very busy, but it's really cool. I love that. You speak with people from different countries, different time zone. It's very busy. It's really cool.
Yes, and there must be some layer of similarity between all of these locations, being able to ski and snowboard in each one of them.
Exactly, fair point.
But that's wonderful to hear. And so you're involved in many other different associations and initiatives. So maybe you can tell us about the Open VASP Association and what's happening on that front.
Yeah, so I've been very busy actually last year. A lot of people, maybe, with Corona, a lot of people were not so busy, but myself, we've been really busy because we started the Open VASP Association as a project back at the end of 2019. When the travel rule kicked out. So back in 2019, the FATF published new guidance and said it's the crypto industry. You're going to have to comply with the travel rule. So everyone was like, excuse me, what did you just say? So basically, travel rule means that you need to exchange information about the originator and the beneficiary of a crypto transaction. The threshold is 1,000, according to the FATF guidance. So that was back in June 2019. Then the Swiss regulator in August 2019 issued a nice guidance. You come back from holidays, it's a Monday morning, you see, Figma is sending me an email, like there's a new guidance. What is it, right? Mm-hmm. Open the email, open the paper. Remember, it was a 3 pages paper saying to us, so travel rule has always applied. Why are you surprised that you need to apply it? And there is no threshold. And you're like, okay, great. Wow. This is not good at all, right? Mm-hmm. The good thing is that at the time, Like was operating from the UK, and in the UK, this rule was not applicable. Mm-hmm. But I knew that at one point, as we were applying for a license in Switzerland, we would have to apply the rule. So I decided with a few other people of the industry, so mainly with Bitcoin Swiss, Seba, and Signum, we decided to get together and see, we can find a solution to this problem from a technological point of view, right? And at the time, David, which is the head of risk at Bitcoin Swiss, mm-hmm. wrote a white paper on a possible solution to the travel rule. Mm-hmm. And that was the start of Open VASP. It was our starting point. We're like, okay, we have this white paper from David. Now we need to see how we can actually make that happen, or we can make that a reality for the industry to be able to comply with the travel rule. So we're starting the working group, and then we actually set up the association in March 2020. So that was the official start of Open VASP. I know you're going to tell me, but what is Open VASP? Everyone is talking about, what does that mean exactly? So as an association, what we do is set up standards. So we are not providing a software. We are setting up standards. So we are writing, basically, we have built up a protocol, and the protocol is there to enable communication between VASP A and VASP B for them to exchange information on the originator and on the beneficiary. So it's a messaging protocol. And the goal of this protocol is to be as open as possible, as decentralized as possible, and as private as possible. Because we actually want to respect the blockchain philosophy, the crypto philosophy, right? Because the travel rule, if you look at it from a pure crypto person point of view, as I am, when I saw it, I was like, what is that? How come do I have to exchange personal information on my customer, right? Yes. This doesn't make any sense, especially that, with the blockchain, you can actually track the fund. You can see where the funds are coming from. You can see exactly the full flow. So why do you need to know the name? People can open a wallet as I can, drink a bottle of water, right? So this is why, when we build up this protocol, we really want it to be as decentralized as possible. And this is all we build it up, right? And then, so we have these standards, and we're working with partners. And our partners, they have developed ready to plug in solution, right? Mm-hmm. So for instance, we have 21 Analytics. We have been working with them. DK Business is the main partner because DK Business, what they have done is that they have written a code on GitHub, which is public. And if you look at it, you can actually implement the protocol yourself, right? If you have a tech company, you can go on the GitHub, look at the code and do it yourself. Mm-hmm. If you are a VASP, obviously, or a bank, you might not have the capacity to actually go on the GitHub and develop yourself. You might just want to say like, I just want a ready-to-plug-in software, right? And then you will go, say, 21 Analytics or Nota Bene or Liquid Business, and they have a ready-to-plug-in solution, right? It's really cool, right? Because it works. It actually works. We managed to make that work. And then you will say, but you probably have competitors on the market, right? You're probably not the only one doing that. Of course, we are not. Our main competitor, I will say, is TRISA. And TRISA is a protocol that has been developed by CipherTrace. Mm-hmm. The main difference is that they are very centralized, where we are open to everyone with then different layers. So open to everyone. And then if you want to have more security and trust as a VAS, when you register with us, first we will give you an identification number. Mm-hmm. We call it a VAN. A VAN is like an IBAN is a traditional word, right? Mm-hmm. So we give you that. And then you can decide to be registered with us. To be registered with us, we will ask you a little bit more information. We will ask you, where you're incorporated. We will ask you if you're licensed or not in the country where you operate. And then we can also ask you more questions. So there is different level on registration with OpenVAS. So first one, completely open. Second one, a little bit of questions. And third layer, you can have more information. And all this information will be on a VAS directory. Mm-hmm. So when you want to use a network, you can interrogate our network and see if this particular VAS, virtual asset service provider, is actually registered and is it licensed or not, and where is this place of registration. So that's really, really cool. I'm very excited about that. I think we were going to be the future Swift messaging systems. That's our goal. You will see this year is going to be a big year, I think, for OpenVAS. The thing is the reality of the market is that the problem with the travel rule is that it hasn't been implemented everywhere by every state. So for instance, as an exchange, if I take the example of an exchange registered in the UK, well, the UK hasn't told me that I need to implement the travel rule. Then why would I do that? The thing is it's from a regulatory point of view, obviously it would be a best practice to do it. In Switzerland, we have to do it. In the US, they have to do it. In Singapore, they have to do it. And several jurisdictions, they have to implement it. But in some jurisdictions, it's not mandatory, right? But I do think that in the very near future, it will be mandatory in most of countries in the world. Yes. Especially that FATF has written down revised guidance in June 2020, and the next one will be for June 2021. And they will assess which countries has actually implemented the travel rule in their regulation and which one has not. And I don't know if you know how it works, but the FAFT, they will look at the control in place in different countries. And then if you're a bad student, you're going to be put in their monitor jurisdiction list or in the very high risk type of jurisdiction, right? And then if you are there, the country looks very bad.
Which is not what you want.
No, you don't want to be there because then, your institutions that are based in your countries is going to be very hard for them to have a relationship with other type of institution in other countries.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's wonderful and so complete. And best of luck. With all
Thank you.
And it's great that it was created by some of the leading Swiss firms within the space and yourself, and that you all kind of came together to create this. I think that's truly beautiful and wonderful. And
so, if I may add, we also have like great member. We have Tezos. We recently get Gazprom Bank. We have Confirm, 21 Analytics, TRM Labs. We also have LCX. We have a lot of we have a few members, so you can check our website, openvas.org. And if everyone listening to this podcast want to join the association, I'm the board member responsible for membership, so please reach out to me.
Wonderful.
Sorry, a bit of advertisement there.
Sure, no, of course. Share as much as you want. I'm sure that there will be many people that will join. And so perfect. And so we're getting towards the end here of the episode, but maybe before we close off, I mean, can you give us, our audience, maybe some perspective on how the Crypto Valley Association has been doing over the last year? I mean, going full digital and all. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yes, so as I said, 2020 was really busy. I became a board member of the Crypto Valley Association back in 2020. I was really excited about that because, I think the Crypto Valley Association is a great association. It's been on the market for a while. It really supports the ecosystem, and I wanted to be more engaged and to make the Crypto Valley Association shine even more, right? So 2020 was actually a really challenging year, I think, for a lot of association with the pandemic. Events are like basically gone, right? So we had to adapt to this new world and go online, as you said. But I think, the Crypto Valley Association have done a really good job on that part. There has been like a lot of events organized online. During one of our first events, we had 700 people connecting, coming from 50 different countries. So this is a great achievement. And I think, at the end of the day, it's good also to have gone like more online and learn how to, through online even, because the audience you can reach is way bigger than just, little crypto community in Switzerland.
Yes.
But then you're going to tell me, there's missing personal contact. But I think that, in our event with the different chat rooms that we have, you can enable kind of a little bit of networking. It's not easy, but at least, there is option. And we have also tried to work a lot and develop education. So we've partnered with Sebaversity, which is, I think, really cool, to have such a partnership in place here for our members. I think it's really good for education is absolutely key in this field. Yes. So that was very, very important to us.
Yeah, definitely. No, I totally agree. Well, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I definitely believe that 2021 is going to bring a lot of bright things, both the Open VASP and the Crypto Valley Association, and even the whole industry. We've been seeing the crypto markets grow and grow and grow. So maybe you can give to our audience some closing words, your vision on the future of this whole industry.
I think right now there's a little bit of a bubble, but I think it's good because I really trust in the blockchain technology, maybe not so much on the crypto part, but really on the technology. I think the technology has the power to revolution the way we are working and to revolution a lot of different business processes and make it more efficient. I think this technology is just amazing, but a lot of people still don't really know about it, and a lot of people are still seeing it like associate blockchain with crypto, and I think it's not always good because crypto, like Bitcoin and so on has been associated with criminal activity. And this is where education comes as a big place there, because you need to, the more people will be educated about we work and what it can do. Actually, what is more important is like for people to understand what it can do, educate them with use cases, the more we will enable mass adoption, right? Yes. And at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? And I do think like we are still a little bit ahead of time. But I'm sure that in 10 years, you will have like apps on your cell phone and you will not even know what is behind it, but it will use blockchain technology, right? So,
yes, it's even the case now. So hopefully it will be for everyone else as well in the future. And I hope that people were able to learn a little bit more about first yourself and also about compliance within the space and all these various great initiatives that you're on. And I think slowly but surely, this global adoption will happen. So great. Well, we'll thank you so much, Delphine, for joining. And if you enjoyed this conversation, feel free to check out more on our website, cryptovalley.swiss, where we host plenty of events, educational content, and even provide information on how you can join our growing community. So thank you so much, Delphine, for joining us.
Thank you, Sheraz. Really appreciate it. And yes, please, everyone, come and look at the Crypto Valley Association website and join us.
Awesome. Perfect. Stay tuned, stay safe, and until next time from the Crypto Valley in Switzerland. Bye-bye.
Bye.